4-2 formation. Red change, down we go, racing for the first time this season. 3 hours of GT action, it's go.
It's very tight as they come down. Group of cars coming in. This has all got trouble written all over it. There's a G3 car.
Drop downhill there, head towards the Aqua Minerale. Imola, of course. There's another one off through the gravel. As wide as possible as they drop downhill, put it down from the inside line. Yes, he did. Through he goes.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the final race in this fantastic season we've renamed Season X. This is AOR's GT3 Tier 1. It's the Fast Boys. It's the Aliens. It's a chance to see what the pros do when they go hard at work. I am your commentator, Rage F1, and I'm joined by my co-commentator, Mr. TwinBarrelJay. Now, I've heard if you go down to Aqua Minerale, normally on a Tuesday evening, you can see Jay just frolicking in the nice little pools there in the afternoon. Only a rumour. Is it true, Jay? Any truth behind that?
Oh, anybody that fancies visiting Imola on a Tuesday evening under the moonlight will have to find out themselves. We've got to leave the air of mystery about these things.
Okay, good. Well,
I didn't consent to these little intros. I expect nothing less from you.
You've never been consented, nor have I even spoken to you about it afterwards. It's come and it's here to stay, I'm afraid. I've heard that's going to be the new catchphrase. Anyway, let's get on with today's race. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. We've got a hot race coming for you guys. I hope everyone is ready for some crazy action here at Imola. We will quickly go straight over into the racing because it's just about to get hot and heavy. It's just about to start as the boys are about to scream out the pit. So we'll go live to that right now so you can see exactly what's going on track. Now, unfortunately, Jay, we've come to this end part of the season and it's a bit of a foregone conclusion. However, things can happen and they have done before, right? Not just in this race series, I mean other races. Right?
It's mathematically still possible. So we at least have a championship fight to talk about, absolutely. But I think it's going to be a really interesting race for another few reasons in its own right. I mean, we know that BMWs are going to be very strong around here, so we're going to see some familiar names get back to the top of the timesheets. We've had some BOP adjustments with the latest patches, so we could see those Bentleys get back in the mix. Although those guys will be needing to get used to the car again now that it's suddenly quick, as I've been having to do with our endurance team recently. But it's definitely more competitive.
What's this, the Bentley?
Yeah.
Okay, we're on board with the Russian at the moment. What do you fancy his chances around Imola today, do you reckon?
I mean, Igor's shown some incredible pace this season, but he's been a little inconsistent. The result's been a bit unlucky with occasional crashes and getting caught up in incidents. But I see no reason he can't put it in the top 10 here, and then race from there. Just get involved. Why not? We do have a wet session, by the way. The track is green, but the rain is coming down. So this is the most crucial couple of laps these guys will ever do.
So in this session, there's going to be rain.
It's already raining. And the rain is getting heavier. So the best laps are going to be potentially the first flying laps here from these boys. And you can see as they're coming around the final corner, I mean, they are not hanging about because they know so well they need to get these times in pretty much first try, which then leads to whether you try to get a banker or whether you risk it all on that first lap.
I think you're going to have to risk it all, aren't you? Well, look, there is... Eagle's got his whatchamacallits on already. Now, I say whatchamacallits, you probably saw them flashing there. The windscreen wipers. Yeah, it's here, Jay. This is it. This is the lap. They have to put it together. This is it or nothing. It will be one lap. So if you throw it away, then, well, this is a shootout. This is a one-lap shootout. I think we need to go on board with the boys that it really counts. Luke Whitehead's currently out there. It says he's out, but hey-ho, we'll find out. Are they on a quick lap now? They are, aren't they? This is it.
Yeah, they've all started their laps, so this could potentially be it for qualifying.
We've got a huge
and you
problem.
can see there's so much traffic out there as well. Go on.
Luke Whitehead has not been able to put a lap down, so the current championship leader, he's going to be really far behind. It's going to be a last to first thing here. We said it might happen to Luke Whitehead. I think it will. Black Gold Saw looks like he's doing very well. Can't see any issues. He's coming through at Camillerali quite nicely there. But yeah, I think there was an issue with Luke Whitehead. He's only just started his lap now, so unfortunately Luke Whitehead's going to get a slightly more sodden lap than everyone else.
Well, that's the thing. If the guys weren't expecting the rain and weren't alert at the beginning of the session, then that's exactly what you fall peril to. I mean, the track has now moved to greasy, but all the guys that are on their laps now will be competing with that. But those that obviously started earlier will have had a better run with it. But the first half, there's already contacts and stuff happening.
Yes,
the final corner, that's Dietrich's and... is that Bauer?
Yeah, he wanted to get past desperately. He's on his lap. He's on his only lap. That was his only chance. That lost him a good couple of tenths. He's going to be furious with Jan Marcel Dietrich, unfortunately. Coming across the line, is he? Or has he just opened up? I'm not too sure how it's going, Jay. There's the time. And he's going to have to start again. He wanted to get a clean lap in. So Conor Wright goes lead pole at the moment. Trevor Wenham a 10th behind. And the Russian, he's just dropped down to 4th as Marcin Olyars takes his place. Samir Foch now with the lead lap. He's currently on pole. Black Goldsword didn't get one in. 7th place for Black Goldsword. 4/10 off that of Samir Foch. Hacker gets one in. So does Dimitrov. He's in 9th. Dominic Goltz in 10th. They're coming through hot and heavy now, Jay. And where's Luke Whitehead? This is the important thing. Let's see if we can find him.
I'm still watching Dietrich and Bauer.
He's off.
Another coming together.
He is off.
As they came into toes of that. But yeah, this is the kind of chaos that this situation causes because you have to get around the lap as quickly as possible. And if you're in traffic, then you just have to deal with it and carry on with the lap. I mean, that's an incredible effort from Samir Foch at the moment. But I think we might see two halves of the grid here. Those that were able to get the laps in and those that might have to go for their best effort.
I think so too.
On the wet tyres. Which could still be good enough.
It's good enough for 12th place. 12th place for Luke Whitehead, current championship leader. He's behind a lot of big names there. Semeninsky, Dimitrov, Black Goldsaw, Barrier. They're all in front of him. But there are people putting in times now, like you say, the other side of the grid that didn't manage to get in. Sorry to interrupt you, but you can see around 10th and 11th, there's your gap.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, he's got a lap on the board in reasonably representative conditions, but I can't see them going too much quicker. Crucially, the rain isn't getting heavier for another 5 or 6 minutes, but I can't see anybody going anywhere near that top 10 now, so it'll be best of the rest, and yeah, probably 13th, maybe 12th, 13th backwards is where the best they could hope in these conditions, but that could be the best that they can do, really.
Luke's gone out again, Jay. It's now damp. Is that possible?
You've got to give it a go, I guess. I mean, looking at the times here, I mean, they're about, the pole's about, what, 4 maybe 5 seconds off dry. So those guys on the lower, just outside the top 10, 6 or 7 seconds. Crossovers normally 8 or 9. So maybe, but you've got to roll the dice, haven't you? You've got to see what kind of pace is out there. Because the end of some of those guys' laps were in damp conditions and slick tyres. And they would have been dead in terms of any temperature. So we'll have to see. But I think that we just got to shout out what a fantastic job that was from Samir Foch, and he may well have claimed pole position for this Imola race with that early effort.
Yep.
With all the chaos that was going on, he kept his head and put in
146.
Exactly the lap he needed.
Conor Wright, though, another notable shout-out for him. Highest he's been up for a long time, and he's right up there with 40 hundredths off Samir Fosh, really good time. Trevor Wenham, good performance from him all season. He's put in a fantastic lap too. Chassé as well, just out of nowhere. Maxime coming across the line. Only a 10th or so, 2 tenths behind everyone else. I mean, the guys who did put them in, they got out quick and they got them in. I think all the way down to Black Goldsaw, roughly around that place. I don't think they got held up by the rain as much as other people. Luke Whitehead comes across the line to start his lap here, Jay. It's going to be a crazy lap. He's going to try and get it done. I don't know how he's going to manage. I think we go on board with him. Let's see if he can do it. How sticky it's going to be.
I can't see him improving, but he's going to give it a go anyway. I can try and have a look here. He is on the wet tyres.
Yep.
So, as you would expect in the damp conditions, you could just try and pump as much pressure into it as possible and see what happens, but I think it's past that point now. And yeah, just looking at the spray that's coming off these cars now, I can't see them improving.
This is a damp line as well, maybe trying to cool those tyres.
Yeah, maybe. I memean, it is definitely on that crossover. It's still damp, so I'd say the car's still drivable with both types of tyre, but they're not going to be particularly quick with either of them. I mean, the car looks, I was going to say it looks stable as he then goes wide at Ackerman Morale, and that'll be a
glimpse of you frolicking, Jake.
Ah, well, that's the risky run at Ackerman Morale. I was out there doing a rain dance, and it came to fruition.
Good stuff. I put a poll out. I said, shall I keep the I've heard intros about Jay in? We got 55 for yes, we got 33 for no, and we got I want more and more crazy 11%. So I'll take that as they're staying, Jay, I'm afraid.
Hang on, I just need to sign up 100 YouTube accounts quickly. Bear with me.
Good stuff.
I'm sure they enjoy it. I never know what's going to come out. Bearing in mind, we don't talk to each other all week, and then we're waiting in the commentary room, and that's the first thing you say to me normally. Just a bit of a shock, that's all. Well, we're going to have an incredible top 10 here, I think, in terms of what it gives us for the race. Just having a look at when... Yes, the race is on the next day, so it could be completely different weather once again. So if that's a dry grid, then a dry race, then it's going to be a very mixed up grid. Though to be fair, Trevor Wenham's been quick all season. Samir Fosh has been threatening that top 10 in that Ferrari. And the BMW is very strong here anyway. 2 Bentleys up there as well. Igor and Valentin getting those laps in. And Felix, he's qualified 9th. He's going to win the race, Rage. I'm calling it. the amount of places he gains, it's going to be an easy win.
I mean, yeah, mathematically, you're right. You are. It's a little bit of a pointless endeavour us continuing to watch this video. I know they are still lapping around with the hopes of improving, but I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. It's one of those where you get all the action and it's really crazy, but you get it straight away instead of over 15 minutes. So yeah, we don't get that final hurrah that we like to. I did keep an eye on those split times between Luke Whitehead and his best. His best that he managed was a 1:47.2, and the lap that he just did was a 1:47.8. So there you go, 6 tenths is the gap. To be fair, it's not that bad considering the condition. Yeah, Conor Wright just came out and did a sighter and he's gone straight back in again. So there you go. There's your answer.
Best improvement I've just seen is Florian Bauer, and he's just done a 48.1 to move himself up to 19th. So 1.9 seconds off.
I mean, this is who we should be watching.
Bauer
really. Back. Yeah.
Sorry.
This is no, you're right. This is who we should be watching. These guys, 19th, 20th back, because these are the guys actually qualifying right now.
Well, yeah, that shows you what the potential is on the track. So any of those positions could potentially still change. And a difference between 19th and 27th is still going to give you a much better race. So there's every opportunity for those guys still and reason to be out there. And I guess maybe the guys that have already put in their quickest laps up the top there, it might just be practice, because it might rain in the race, you never know. So at least maybe put some fuel in it, put your race setup on and see what it's like in the rain.
I think so. I'm just looking through the best times that we've got down here. There is a little bit of a gap between Krzysztof Makowski with a 1:47.4, and then we've got the Appleman, Joris Apple, with a 1:47.7. So there's quite a big gap there between 14th and 15th. And we saw that the best time that Luke Whitehead could get in was about a 1:47.8 a minute ago with that tyre. So one would assume that he's probably the leader of these guys who's currently out. I think 15th back is actually achievable in these current conditions, but it's whether you can get that lap in.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be getting everything right. It's going to be making sure your pressures are correct and putting the lap together. Because the track's just switched over to wet, so I think that might just have changed.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have got a driver who's right in the Ravazza as that switched over, so might not be too affected by it, and that's Angel Instroza, so the winner from last time out. He's 21st at the moment. He's going to come across the line and hopefully vie for a higher position. He's got 6 to make up. Let's see what he can do. Was it any better? Cross the line. I think he stays where he is there, Jay. No improvement, unfortunately. It was, best 1:48 last. Oh, no, it was a huge lap last time. So maybe that was his out lap. Okay, we'll continue.
Yeah, so he's going back out and giving it another go, obviously, just starting that lap. It's a shame for Angel. He did so well last time out to hold off that pressure from Luke for the entire race at Laguna. And he was very quick again in practice today when it was in the dry. It just couldn't get the lap in when it mattered. But be one to watch out for in the race, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, just to reiterate, guys, we think roughly from about 15th backwards is where the crossover between that wet and the damp and the dry bit was. So the only people that could improve roughly between 15th and 20th and below. It might have just changed because the track condition just changed slightly, so we have to keep an eye on what happens. Currently on board with Angel as he comes to Acqua Minerale to see what he can do. If he can improve, slightly better line there than we saw with Luke Whitehead a couple of laps ago, actually makes the corner, Jay. Is it tougher in these conditions? I know everyone says wet's really, really tough. Ooh, but, you know, a newly wet track, you haven't got a lot of standing water. Is it as tough as it can be? Is snow worse? Should we bring snow to sim racing is what I'm asking, Jay.
I'm hoping that one was rhetorical. Yes, we should bring it, is the answer. It would only enhance the spectacle, I'm sure, for us, not for the drivers. Yes, of course it's more difficult. It's tricky, especially in conditions like this where it's not consistent. It's been getting heavier since the beginning of the session. They've gone from trying to get slicks working on a very damp track to a wet track with that's turn wet in the last 5 minutes. You know, the pressures will be all over the place. The grip will change lap to lap in terms of the braking points to turn in. And I was looking on board with Angel on that lap, and he's working the wheels so much just to try and keep the thing in a straight line as you would in that Porsche.
He did actually improve, but unfortunately it's 2 tenths off where he needs to be, or a 10th and a half off to get past Jan Marcel. So really, really good considering the conditions, but unfortunately not able to improve. Who else have we got around that kind of time? We've got Jura Petrochenko just coming into the middle part of the lap. He could possibly do some changes. I think he's just coming into turn 9. He is. There you go. Lovely stuff. Qualifying is over. It's going to be the only attempt we see from these boys. He's up 2 tenths here, Jay. The best was a 48.6. He needs another 10th, really, if he wants to get past the man we were just watching, Angel. And I don't think we're going to see much more action. Grantis Caracas, possibly. Marco Yonkers could improve. Kevin Niles could have a massive improvement here, so we'll keep an eye on what happens there. Angel's up 2 tenths, though. So we'll keep an eye on him. Jura Petrochenko has found that last 10th, Jay. But he did run wide, I think, through the Variante Alta, unfortunately. But he's kept the time.
Yeah, well, he's just going to have to throw it in to the two Ravazzas and hope it will stick. Don't invalidate on the exit. That was incredibly close. The car gets sideways on those painted curbs. Climbs all over the inside curb. Gets on the power. Tokyo drifting himself out of the final corner. He needs a big improvement here to move him up even one position.
He's lost it all, Jay. He's actually down 10th, unfortunately. That Tokyo drift, I think, cost him a lot of time.
Well, he had to give it a go, right?
He did. I mean, it was all there. It was all there. But unfortunately, he's lost it. I think that is it. I don't think we can get any improvements at anyone else because everyone who we were watching has actually finished. We might have Florian Bauer. He could possibly. It is feasible that he could improve, but I think the gap between him and the guy ahead is just too much. 2 tenths he needs to improve. He's on the bubble, though. So could see an improvement here from the Audi man. And Audi's a good car to be in. It's a good boat, right?
Yeah, especially this new Audi.
Cracking hull.
He's definitely, well, that's what he thought of that qualifying session.
Oh, dear.
And that that was one where we needed about 15 cameras on that opening lap because there was so much jostling for position and some stuff that probably wasn't quite tennis going on in that opening lap, but all cricket indeed.
Yeah, unfortunately. Luke Whitehead in the chat says, Range, I blame you for jinxing me. I mean, we all had a little play in that part of the old jinxy. And we got a night session, Jay. I did not know that this was going to happen. Do you like the night? Just generally. Are you a night owl?
Yeah, much more than the morning person. This is actually the morning, though. It's 5 a.m, so we will be going into the morning. We'll be starting in this sort of dawn conditions as the sun rises. But, yeah, adds a bit of drama and a bit of spectacle to the final race of the season. And I don't mean it's all too bad, Luke. I mean, you're still P12, and you can see your championship rival, Black Gold Saw, is only 4 places ahead of you. And I think, if you agree, Rage, we'll hold off on doing some maths unless something happens to Luke.
I think so, yeah, we'll wait. Now, quick question. I get quite a lot of blinking in the night. If anyone knows how to get rid of that blinking, shout, because I don't know how to get rid of it. So, whether it's a technical thing you need to change, it only happens at night time, so all the lights blink quite a lot. Do you get that?
Yeah, I've got it. I've got some weird circles on my screen and some...
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have to live with it then.
Maybe something with the engine, I don't know.
Yeah, okay. It's come up a little time, only this season. Luke Whitehead says no maths in capitals. He doesn't want any maths, so we'll leave the maths. Say nothing. Okay, we'll say nothing apart from maths. Right, let's go through the grid, Jay.
Oh, I feel like we kind of have to work out the maths now.
Don't do that math. Well, brilliant stuff. We've got Clown Fiesta Esports on the front row. Enjoy the show, everyone. It's going to be a great race. There you go from the championship leader himself. It is going to be a fantastic race. He has now got to work his way from somewhere, we'll find out in a minute, all the way up to the top if he wants to secure the championship. He's probably got it where he finishes, but we won't tell him that. So he doesn't do the maths in his head and he finds out at the end. Let's carry on with the grid. Samir Foch will join Connor Wright on the front row. Trevor Wenham will join Maxime Chassé on the second row. It says Trevor Wenham is out, but he's definitely there. I hate it when it does that. Marcin Olyars and the Russian Igor will be on the third row. Valentin Barrier and Black Gold Saw BGS, he is on the fourth row. It's good qualifying from him, considering the situation. He is second in the championship, so very good position for him to be in. He is the red car that you just saw just wheel. Then we've got the fifth row, Felix. He'll be with Wanko Dimitrov, Vanko himself in 10th place. Then we've got Hubert Simonensky with Luke Whitehead there on the 6th row of the grid. In 12th place, Luke Whitehead, unfortunately, got a lot to do. Then we've got Volkan and Christoph Makowski. Then we're on the 7th row of the grid. We've got Joris Apple, the Apple man himself, 15th and 16th. That's Dominic Goltz there, 8th row. Then we've got Leon Berndt and Gert Fischer on the 9th row. Florian Bauer, you saw, trying to wrestle his massive car on the 10th row of the grid with Jean-Marcel Dietrich. And Angel, the last winner we had here in AOR, he'll be starting in the 11th row with Jura Petrochenko. I'm going to call him Jura Unsafe Rejoin Petrochenko. We're going to change that officially. 23rd and 24th. I'm sorry, Jura. He'll be... That's Harry Phillips and Hugo Merlers. Whereabouts is that? 13th row of the grid, I think. We've got Grantis Caracas, Marco Yonkers, 14th row. Kevin Niles will be starting from the back. And there is your grid, Jay.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that was being kind as to what you could have said from rejoins in previous races. Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a fascinating race at the front of the field. We've got some guys up there that have threatened to win races or produce good results, and now they've done the business in a very tricky opening few minutes of qualifying and put themselves in a great position. And I mean, it could be anybody's that top 10, I really think, because we've got some really quick guys starting further back that it's going to be one not to miss.
Indeed. There's lots of maths memes going on. So apparently, Luke did the maths anyway, or math, well, I'm going to call it from now on. If BGS wins, he needs to finish 18th. So he can stay where he was, and he'll still win the championship at the moment. So let's just see what happens. And we'll see what happens throughout this whole race to see what Luke Whitehead needs to do to win the championship overall. I think we'll go through the points now as they're doing their outlap. Tell me if anything happens, Jay. currently leading the championship, Luke Whitehead with 437 points. Huge gap back to Black Gold Saw, 352 points, but still mathematical possibility of taking the crown. And then, unfortunately, outside of that mathematical possibility is Valentine Barrier in 3rd place, Trevor Wenham in 4th. Then we've got Grantis Caracas in 5th. Very good. Well improved from him. We don't have Darren King this evening. Neither do we have Jardier taking place. But Darren King is 6th in the championship. It's 260 points. And then we got the Russian himself, Igor, in 7th place. Jura Petrochenko in 8th. Very good from him, actually, considering. Jardier in 9th. And rounding out the top 10 is Martin Oliaz, who's been there pretty much every single race, around about the top 10, or always threatening to be in there. So, yeah, good improvements from him. But we've had some crazy results all down the grid, haven't we? You know, as low as down as 16th place, Angel coming across the line and winning last time out. Leon Berndt getting a 3rd place as well last time. Hugo Merles in 13th place. He got a 3rd place. I think that was right at the very beginning of the season. You know, lots of people have had podiums this season, Jay. It's been a real mix of different things. And, yeah, unfortunately, Black Gold Sword just hasn't had the rub of the green where necessary. Suzuka, I think, was the nail in the coffin that he didn't need. And, obviously, Luke Whitehead actually got the win there. So, yeah. It's a fight out. It's going to happen. It's between the Dutchman and the Englishman. Who's going to come out on top? I think it might be the Englishman. But this is Luke Whitehead we're talking about, Jay. Anything can happen to him, and it normally does.
Yeah, he's been TikTok and he didn't talk last time, so he should get a double talk this time.
I've heard that's definitely...
If superstitions are to be believed. Yes. But, yeah, it's been such a close grid all season, and it can change from track to track which manufacturer it suits, that we have seen such a wide spread of results, and we're going to see that again today. Interested to see how Samir Foch deals with this. He's potentially a little bit out of position. We know he's quick, but... I don't think he was quite pole position quick in the dry, so...
Oh, you take nothing away from Samir Foch. He's SRO quick. You know, he's a fast boy, Jay. I think he can hold on there.
I know, it's more the Ferrari than his ability.
Yeah. I think we are going to see some charges through here, though. You know, as we've said, you've got Black Gold Saw and Hacker back there in 8th and 9th together. You've got Luke Whitehead in 12th. What's going to happen there, I dread to think. You know, you've got some real charges right in the middle. You've got the Russian himself, Igor in 6th place. And then in front of him, you've got middle runners like Chassé and Foch and Connor Wright this season. They've all been in the midfield. So what happens into turn 1, I don't know. But Connor Wright, Samir Foch have definitely got the credentials. I am all team Connor Wright. Look at the Van Mool SimSwap boys. They're right up there. Oh, no, it's not. It's just a very similar thingy. But still, it's good to see Van Mool on the front row. We're about to go green, Jay. Do we turn the corner? I can't remember here. We must do, right?
No, we'll start before it.
Oh, okay. Can't remember. That's a long time.
There's the line there, and they are on... Oh, no, maybe it is a bit later. Oh. You are right. It's been a while for me as well. I'd keep an eye on those 2 BMWs and also those 2 Bentleys of Igor and Valentine starting on the 5th and 6th row. But they are underway. There's a great start from Samir Foch. Trevor Wenham forces his way past Connor Wright as well. As they all jostle for position into turn 1, there is contact between the 2 BMWs. I said watch them, but not in that way.
Igor joins safely, managed to keep it on the track. Keep going, Jay. Black Gold Saw gets a little knock, but they're all good.
Yeah, absolutely. Valentine has made his way up, I think, a position as well, as my timing screen tries to sort itself out. But it's Trevor Wenham that made a storming start on that inside line behind Samir Foch, and it was the outside line where the chaos was caused. And Trevor Wenham putting all sorts of pressure on Samir Foch. He senses an opportunity here with that gap that's been created between the front 2 and the rest of the grid. If he can find a way past Samir, he could be off into the promised land. But good start from Martin Olajars as well. Up in that Honda, up into 4th place.
Yeah. Terrible start, obviously, we saw there for the Russian. Didn't get what he needed. Look what we got here, though, Jay. We've got the 2 championship contenders. They are next to each other on track, so there's no love lost there, unfortunately. So we'll see what the Ripper can do himself as he looks for a position on Black Gold Saw. Don't think it's going to happen there. As they come down towards the Variante Alta, they jump over that curb like absolute jackrabbits, but no one loses position. We go on board with Luke Whitehead. He lights up the track in front of him. He's got Black Gold Saw and a couple of Bentleys and a Porsche in front of him. This is going to be a crazy start to this race, Jay. We're already in, and Luke Whitehead's jumped himself 4 positions on lap 1. Fantastic start, and what a way to wrap up the championship. If you can keep all 4 wheels on the black stuff, we've got, I think that's Barrier and Chassé going toe to toe. A big old Bentley down the straight. muscling his way through here, and here comes Black Goldsaw and Luke Whitehead. They're all going to go down towards turn 2. I'm not sure if all cars are going to get through, though.
So yeah, it was Chassé that made the error in the final Vervat, so that gave Valentine the start. I combined his first and second name there, not sure why.
It's okay.
Valentine a good opportunity, but he couldn't find a way through that BMW. Brilliant through the first couple of turns. And it's now, oh, he's conceded both places. What's going on here? Is it Chassé got an issue, or is he just feeling incredibly generous? I mean, he's blocking. Does Chassé and Black Goldsaw know each other?
I mean, probably.
I don't want to play games, but he was very defensive on Luke Whitehead there and let Black Goldsaw through rather easily. I don't want to suggest anything as Black Goldsaw gives Valentine a little tap.
A little kissy kissy.
They go through Piroletta down into Acqua Minerale. And Valentine, having got himself to the head of that field, can't seem to break away. He's got an almighty train behind him at the moment. He'll need a better run through Variante Alta than he did last time. He clattered the curbs a bit too much in that Bentley last time. Gets himself through much nicer the second time. And, yeah, I don't want to suggest anything, but...
Jay, we've got to change for the lead. I thought I'd just go jump in there.
Yeah,
not too sure what happened.
Good to look.
No, it's all good. I think we'll go back 30 seconds to see what happened there. So it looks like it happened. Whereabouts are we? Let's see. Was it down into the Variante Alto? It was, I think. Yep, just gets a run up the inside. And Samir Foch leaves the door quite well open. Wants the cut back, but doesn't quite get it. And that is up into the lead for Trevor Wenham. Good stuff from him. Brilliant start to this race. Samir Foch is going to be under pressure now from Connor Wright. So we'll keep an eye on what happens there. It says on my screen...
He's already been passed.
He's actually got past. So it's Martin Olyars next up for that little battle. But yeah, Connor Wright is through. Fantastic start for Connor. It's Samir Foch. Disaster, unfortunately, the start of this race.
Yeah, he obviously, with that move, lost some time and then got swamped out of the final corner. They were almost 3 wide all the way down the main straight, and Connor Wright forcing his way through at the end of it. And Martin Olyars now looking to pounce as well. He's had a fantastic start. I really wasn't expecting the Hondas to be strong here, but Olyars proving me wrong. And right in this fight now, we'll see what kind of pace Trevor Wenham's got. Now Connor Wright's got past Foch as well. Connor Wright one that was very quick in the dry practice. BMW's very good round here, so we'll see if he can start to claw in that gap. What's happening in the battle for the championship then? Luke Whitehead has got past Chassé then. And that's all he's got to do, right? He's just got to stay in the wheel tracks of his direct competitor.
Oh, yeah. He's done it, though. Got straight past him quite quickly. You're on board at the moment, or watching at least, Chassé. He's now coming under pressure from the Russian. There's a huge old train behind Chassé. We think we're going, what's that, Igor, Vanko, then Hacker, Apple, Simonensky, Makowski, all within biting distance, really. They could lick each other from that far away. Hope they don't. A bit oily.
A little bit oily, and yeah, they need to be concentrating on what they're doing in that car. A lot of very sharp aero bits on there as well. Don't want to be doing that, boys.
Do you think they need to put, like, stickers on the side, you know? Sharp, don't lick.
No, I think that's called natural selection.
Oh, Luke Whitehead into turn 2! He does get through. Bumpy from Black Goldsaw has to go onto the gravel. He's going to be very, very disappointed there as Luke Whitehead forces his way through turn 2. That was aggressive, and we've seen this a lot from Luke Whitehead this season. You know, not wanting to wait for the move to happen and really putting the force down. But he's not going to give it back.
Very wide ahead.
He's had an absolute mare, hasn't he? Bless him.
Yeah, he's gone off. It's so easy to do there, carry too much speed through the first part of the chicane. Run wide on the X6, the gravel's right next to it in this old school track. This is how we like it, Rage.
Oh, yeah.
You may put a couple of wheel tracks wrong and you're instantly punished, unfortunately for Samir Foch that time. But you're right, Luke Whitehead, he's it's the best thing he can do in this situation, right? It's just concentrate on running his normal race, which is his normal aggressive style. As Black Goldsaw now tries to follow his way through Samir Foch as they go wheel to wheel through the Acqua Minerale. Great racing, good respect between the pair of them. But Black Goldsaw will have that corner and can get back after his championship contender.
Samir losing another position almost. Couple of positions.
swamped.
Yeah, he's getting absolutely swamped. Do you reckon maybe it's a setup issue that he's got on there? But you can change, can't you, in between sessions? So not too sure what's going on with Samir.
As I said, he didn't have top 10 pace in practice. It's just because he put that perfect lap together in qualifying, and he was the one that stuck out a little bit in that top 10. And unfortunately, in that Ferrari, he doesn't quite have the pace to stay with it, and that puts you under pressure, and that's how you make mistakes. He's getting swamped and losing. Well, he's lost 8 positions in the last couple of laps, unfortunately. Just needs to settle down a bit because he's still in that fight. Still get some decent points from there.
Yep, we are. We're on board at the moment with Black Gold. So we're watching from the self-titled fail cam as Maxime Chassé and the Russian go toe-to-toe. They've already swapped round into turn 2, or roughly around that kind of position. So that's just updated on the screen, you'll see. And yeah, the gap is slowly starting to eke out these boys now. Trevor Wenham's not running away, but he's got a nice lead there. 8 tenths back to Connor Wright. So Connor Wright's probably just managing that, maybe trying to get into an area where he can possibly put a move on. What have we got going
that's
on?
down quite a lot, actually.
Is it?
Connor
Okay.
Wright, much quicker. Well, I say much quicker. He was half under quicker last time.
Much quicker, Jay.
Massively quicker.
Massively quicker. It's fine, you know, you G it up. As we're watching Bauer going for a move on Mikowski. Bauer's had it all to play for this session, hasn't he? Bless him. He's been muscling his way through qualifying, muscling his way through the start of this race. And Mikowski's got marks all over the back of that Bentley. Unfortunately, he looks like he's been bounced around a little bit. Part of the Jardier community, as you can see there on the stickers on the back. And Bauer just trying to get his Audi anywhere possible he can today to get up into the top 10. It's been a tough one for the Audi. He's not had it easy, the 20 car. But hopefully he can get up there soon.
Sole Audi on this grid, and he's put in some brilliant performances on and off throughout this season. And considering that massive train that's currently stuck behind Black Gold Store, there's plenty more positions to get as he pits.
He does.
So he's going to get out of that. That
Nice.
could be wise, because it's really getting scrappy from Black Gold Store backwards.
Oh, this fight with Igor. The Chassé is heating up. Samir Foch wants another bite at it as well. He hasn't left them alone for a couple of laps. He's stuck with them. So maybe he's found his little area as Dimitrov tries to make his way past Samir Foch as well. But yeah, this battle between, it looks like Igor and Chassé, they've met their match because they are just swapping over every single lap. And the cars behind, I think that's Apple, isn't it? With Dimitrov and stuff like that, all kind of muscling around and trying to pick up the pieces. It's all going off, Jay. I think who's that in the? That is Apple. Yeah, in the AMG, just behind. Where's Hacker?
Yeah,
14th. He's fallen
Hacker
down.
he's dropped a couple of positions. Unfortunately, there's definitely damage on the back of the Merc. And, there's been plenty of contact that I think we've unfortunately missed, but you can't have eyes everywhere.
No.
Especially in a race that's been as hectic as this one so far. But yeah, I think it was a mistake last time round for Chassé on that last lap. Half a second quicker he got after getting past the lap before that. And well, maybe it was Igor that made the mistake to let Chassé pass. But yeah, you're right, Samir Foch, I think he's in his sort of zone as to where he can match these guys on pace now. He's had a couple laps to calm down after. Well, there's no way of really putting it other than he was getting bullied in those early laps as people were looking to make progress. But this is sort of the back end of the top 10, sort of where we've seen him most of the season when Ferrari's been good. So you can see if he can get after those two guys in front of him. And yeah, I'm surprised not to see too many McLarens up there. They were pretty quick in practice. Yonkers and Petrochenko 15th and 16th, Dietrich 18th, Caracas 21st.
So here we go, Jay. Sorry to interrupt you, mate. We're going to get a move into turn 2, I think. Igor pointing the nose. Chassé being quite nice there. And just defending, holding him off a little bit further. I thought, Jay, we'll just take a minute, seeing as we've got quite a few people watching, just to thank our sponsors this season. We haven't really mentioned them very much, haven't got their money's worth. So we'll give it to them now. We'll start off with Driver61. Fantastic website, lots of information on there, whether it's motorsport, sim racing, or just general F1 motorsports media. You can find it all on driver61.com. You can find guides, training courses. They've got a fantastic YouTube as well. If you like any of that, hop on over to driver61.com. If you want some tuition, I think we give some rates.
I'd recommend,
tuition too.
by
yes,
the way,
yes.
Driver61 on their YouTube channel. If anyone hasn't seen it, they put F1 tyres on normal road cars.
Okay.
The actual Pirelli F1 tyres. It's hilarious.
Okay, well, there you go. Driver 61 for you. One of the sponsors of AOR Season X. Next one up. These ones are a favourite of mine. I will shout from the rooftops on these guys, if I can find it. Whereabouts are we? There we go. SIMSOK! Developed by sim racers for sim racers. They have some really good stuff there, actually. Cushioned heel comfort during endurance events, so you can go longer and faster. Strategically placed unique grips. You get some on your toe, some on your heel, and some somewhere else. Breathable panels. It's got lovely Coolmax yarn that wicks away moisture. Arch support as well. No more feet slipping off those pedals. So, yeah, you fancy yourself a set of SimSoks, head on over to simsok.com. I would advise you to go for the large, even if you're a little boy or girl. Go for the large pair. They will not let you down. If you're a big boy, good luck. Anyway, let's move on. Thanks very much for that, guys. We still got a race here, and one of the Hondas just came out of the pits somewhat further back. Who was that, did you see? As Igor actually does get past Chassé there into turn 2.
Yeah, judged that to perfection. he had to make the corner at some point. Unfortunately, the back of that very long Bentley was just past the BMW when he got there. And Chassé not giving up on it though, and Eagle runs a little wide, kicks up a little gravel. It's going to put him back under pressure. You have to say Eagles looks the quicker of the two cars the last few laps, so we'll see what kind of pace he's got now. And Samir Foch also getting interested at the back of that little group.
Well, we did ask at the beginning, Malcolm. He said, what's your bloom setting at? It might be responsible for white flashes. We'll have a look afterwards and we'll get it back for you for next season, because this is the final race of the season. We're on board with the current championship leader, and if he stays where he is, he's going to be the Season X champion. Just about to go up the inside of Valentin Barrier into Variante Alta, but he doesn't make that happen. Takes a lot of curb. I always noticed that from Luke. Loves his curb. Takes it by the mouthful. Behind him, though, Black Gold saw 3 seconds back, just not able to keep up with the pace here. Do you think some drivers caught out with tyres slightly? Track conditions? It's green still. Maybe they thought it was going to develop. It's not.
I don't know. I mean, Black Gold Saw's pace is decent enough. It's just that Luke Whitehead and Valentin ahead are just so much quicker. That's how a race works, Jay. Yeah, everyone knows that. The car's quicker does pull away. So Valentin's actually going to have a look at Olajar's down the main straight. He's going to look to have a move, see if he can beat the Honda on the brakes. He does much later. Quite respectful from Olajar's, actually. Knew that he was potentially beating that. And I'm interested to see the pace of this Bentley now. Just from a personal perspective, but also a commentator's and spectacle perspective. But the Bentley much improved from the recent bop, and we'll now see how it compares to Connor Wright and Trevor Wenham, who are still doing battle trading lap times at the head of the field.
Yeah, I think that was somewhat natural selection of that race car, just to be overtaken by Barrier and Whitehead there. Unfortunately, Oljar's going to have to drop down a little bit. He'll be next up for Black Gold Saw and Igor and such. But yeah, this is the race right now we're watching for. Technically, it's going to be third place, isn't it? Valentin Barrier in that Bentley.